In this video, we're taking a look at Plottr, which is an app that can help you outline your novels as well as keep everything organized while you're writing it. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at what you see. Let's jump into it. What's up, guys? Michael Laron here with Author Level Up, helping you write world-class stories better and faster. And I do that because I believe that each of you has an inner Dean Koontz, and you just need help unlocking it. So don't forget to subscribe. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about Plottr, which is an outlining app. You're probably thinking, Michael, you are a pantser. You're a discovery writer. You write into the dark. Why are we talking about outlining? Well, about that. Plottr is a multifunctional app that applies to both outlining and pantsing. So while outliners can definitely get the most benefit out of it, I also think pantsers can get a lot of value out of this app, which is why I'm doing a video. Before we continue, let's get a few things out of the way. First things first, this app is for Mac, Windows, iOS, and Android. So the vast majority of you watching this will be able to use this on any device. Second thing, they have two paid plans. One is a lifetime fee, so you pay and you can use the app forever and you get lifetime updates. I give them their credit for that because I know many of you don't like subscriptions, but they also offer a subscription model as well. So my hat goes off to Plottr for allowing you to be able to purchase this with a single fee. So I just want to get that out of the way. And I also want to share that I did receive free access to Plottr in exchange for this video review. But as you guys know, I only review apps that I believe in and that I believe you will benefit from. And I think a lot of you can benefit from this app, whether you are an outliner or a pantser. So with that, let's jump into my computer. All right, I am inside Plottr and I'm using the Mac version, but what you see should be fairly similar across different operating systems. So I've started a test project and I'm going to walk through the major features of this. And one of the things I really like about Plottr is that it is very easy and intuitive to use. And it's simple. It does one thing and it does one thing really well, and that is it helps you outline your novel and or keep track of the details as you're writing. And I think that's critical. All right. So I'm in the timeline field, right? Or the timeline screen right now. And it already started me off with a chapter and a main plot. Okay. So I can click this plus button to add additional chapters if I want. And just kind of keep going just like that. And if I want to, I can rename the chapters. It'll auto number them for you, but if you want to name them, you can do that as well. And then it starts you off with a main plot. So if you wanted to, you could use a side plot by clicking this here and just type in side plot. Now, you can also do templates. So if I hover over this button here, I can use a template. And one of the really cool things is they have tons and tons of story structures loaded into this. So for example, I mean, I don't know what the 12-step mystery formula is, but I'm sure if you write mystery, you know what that is. But there's some other things in here that are probably going to look pretty familiar, like Freytag's Pyramid, Hero's Journey, Starting in Media Res, one that I particularly love, the Lester Dent plot formula. And so whatever you want to do, you can kind of start. So if you wanted to, let's say I want to do the hero's journey. I'll click on that and then it will give me all of the different beats that are in the hero's journey. So as you can see, it added the hero's journey timeline here. It added the entire structure with all of the beats in the right place. And if I hover over one of these squares here, it actually gives me a description of everything that needs to be in this section. And it gives me the ability, if I want to, if I click on it, it gives me the ability to add in my own details above the line. So I can delete all this if I wanted to, or I could just simply start typing what happens in my story. All right, so hero meets supporting character, for example, just something simple. And I can update the fonts and, you know, do all the kind of the typical stuff that I want to do. And I also have the ability to assign this to a book. I can assign this to a plot line, all right, and then I can assign this to a chapter, and then we'll go over characters, places, and tags here in a moment. But yeah, this is really cool. They make this really, really easy to type in what you want. So I'm going to close out of this here, and then I'm going to get rid of the hero's journey. And now we just have my main custom plot here. I love the templates. I think everybody should play around with them and just see which one maybe works best for you. Now, for the main plot, if I hover over anywhere on the timeline, I have two options. I can just create a chapter and start typing, or I can use a chapter template. So if I click on Use Template, then I have a few different templates that I can use. And the most famous of these, I think, is the Goal Motivation Conflict. I love this one. So click on Goal Motivation Conflict, and it gives you a preview of what this looks like. Okay, so these are the attributes, and we'll say, okay, I like this. So I'll choose that, and I'll type in a scene title. So I'll say, Introduction. I have a novel that I want to write one day. It's called Grandma's a DJ. So my main character's name is Eunice. So that's our chapter. And if I click on this, then I can start typing in what happens. So introduction to Eunice at nursing home and whatever I want. Okay. Now, if I click this Goal Motivation Conflict, then I can actually, it gives me questions that I can answer. So what does the character want or need to achieve in this scene? What drives the character to pursue their goal in this scene? And conflict. So if you're familiar with this method, this is really useful. It's really useful. Okay. So that is a great way to add chapters, and it's super easy to do. Over on the left-hand side, we've got some additional things that we can do to customize this a little bit further. So let's say we want to assign a character to this scene. So if I click on this, I can't do anything, but if I go over here to the character tab up on the top of the app, then I can add characters to the story. So let's say I want to add my main character, Eunice, and it asked me for a category, and she's my main character. So I'll add her as a main character. I can enter a description of her. I can put in a thumbnail. So if I want to find a thumbnail that represents her, I can do that. And then I can enter in some notes about her. But here's the thing that makes this really useful, not just for outliners, but also for pantsers. Okay, so I can click on this attributes button, and this will allow me to create attributes for the character. Now, I'm a big proponent of the writing into the dark method. And in that method, basically, it's important to track your character details as you go. So if you're a pantser, you're writing into the dark, you're not outlining, but you're creating an outline as you go. This is a perfect way to do that. And one of the important elements of writing into the dark is making sure that you keep track of your character attributes. So what I can do is I can add an attribute. Okay. So let's say that I have she's wearing a purple dress. All right. I can track that, and I can click this little button here to add some more information about that if I want. And if I click the close button, I can describe the dress. Or if I could even just change this to dress, and then I could put the chapters in here. So I could say chapter 1, wearing purple dress. Chapter 2, changes clothes, right? So keeping track of your character's wardrobes is really important. And Plottr provides, I think, probably one of the most elegant ways to do that in an app that I've seen. There are lots of different attributes that you can track. Your character's wardrobes, any weapons or items that they're carrying, all of that. And even better, you can even track places. Okay, so I can do the same thing with places. All right, so I can create a place here, and I can call it the Royal Oaks Nursing Home. All right, and I can basically go in and do the same things for this as well. And so now, once I have added these, I can go into the timeline and into the individual chapter, and I can click the plus button, and I can add my character. Okay, and then I can click the plus button, and I can add the place. Okay, so great way to track details and keep everything nice and clean. Now, we also have the ability to add something called tags in Plottr, and this is more of a higher level, more at the project level things that maybe we want to track. So I've seen people do things like track like themes, like love. You can put that in there, or you can track certain types of events, all of these things, and you can assign them to your plot lines as well. So I'll include a link to some documentation from the Plottr team about ways to use tags. It wasn't immediately clear to me how to use these, but when you look at the documentation, it makes a lot more sense, and they've got some helpful videos to help you with that. Moving back to our timeline, we can just simply keep adding chapters to the book. And it really is that simple. Now, here's where things start to get really, really interesting. If I click this filter button, I can actually filter the outline by all these different attributes that we set up. Okay, so I can filter it by character, I can filter it by place, I can filter it by the tags that we set up. And you can even filter, you can even assign colors to chapters, and you can filter by those as well, which is great. And then when you're ready, you can just unfilter it. It's kind of like Microsoft Excel. You get kind of the benefit of Excel without having to use Excel. And then you can click this attributes button, and you can also do some custom attributes if that's important to you, to choose what you track about your scenes. You can even flip this so you can have it go vertical instead of horizontal. Some people like that better. All right. There's just lots of things you can do. I can click this button again to kind of flip it. So it's kind of like a nice threaded corkboard. You can even change the size of the chapter. So that was the large view. Now I'm in the medium view. And then it even goes to like an Excel, like a really nice thing with some dots, colored dots. You can customize those colors and everything to make it look nicer for you if you want. And if you've got a really long manuscript, like 40, 50 chapters, you can click this beginning, middle, and end, and it'll move to the beginning of your manuscript. So like I just clicked that. It took me to the geographical middle of the story. And if I click end, it'll take me to the end. And it's also got a search feature, which some people may find handy. And if I click all the way over here to structure, then I can also change the look and feel of the timeline as well, which I know some people like to do that. Now, moving over on here, we can go to the Outline tab, and you can see it gives us a different view of everything. So now I can actually click on the chapters, and it will give me a really nice summary of everything. So everything that I typed into the text field will appear here. All right. So if you can imagine, you've got an outline that's very detailed. It's gonna be filled in quite nicely. And this is just a great way to look at everything and just see it in a different view. And you can also filter this by plot line. So you can filter it by your main plot, your side plot, however you want to outline, however you want to set your timeline up. There is also a notes feature where you can add notes, anything that you want to think about. You got some thoughts about a character, you can throw that in there, and that'll be there for you to use later on. And now we have what I think is really a very powerful feature, and that is the export feature. So if I want to export all of this, because here's the thing, you have an outlining app, that's great. And this is what this does. It only focuses on outlines. But many of you are going to be using Scrivener, you're going to be using Microsoft Word, you might be using Atticus, whatever writing app you want to use. Your story is going to live somewhere else. So wouldn't it be nice if you could export this into your writing app of choice? Well, you can. So I can click this export button, and I can export everything in my timeline in outline mode to Microsoft Word. And I can choose where I want to save that. Or I could export it as a Scrivener file, and you can import that into Scrivener. And if you want, you can even give yourself some more flexibility, and you can choose what you want to outline, which is great. So let me show you what it looks like when I export this to Microsoft Word. So here I am in Microsoft Word, and as you can see, it neatly, on the left-hand side of the screen here, it neatly organizes everything by headings, so you can just easily jump over into everything. Okay, so it's very neatly organized. I like how this is laid out. And then, yeah, you can get around things pretty quickly. So now what you could do is you could take this, and most writing apps allow you to import a Microsoft Word document. You can import this into your writing app of choice and then tuck all this into your outline folder, for example. Now, you can also export into Scrivener. So let me show you what it looks like when you pull it into Scrivener. All right, so I'm in Scrivener for Mac right now, and it has imported the manuscript. So here's the catch with Scrivener. So it's probably better to use this as an outline and then upload it into Scrivener, because what it does is it lays out all of your chapters, okay? And then what it does is you have to open up the inspector by clicking this little eye over here, and then that's where you can have access to all of your the things that you wrote. So if you're a pantser, you probably have to do a little bit of work to get this into an existing manuscript. Probably what I would do is, if I was a pantser, I would import I would import this as a Word doc into Scrivener and then throw it into its own folder. So like, for example, I would do insert folder and I would do outline, and then I would just put all your outline materials in there. It would probably be a little bit easier. But if you're just outlining and then you're moving into Scrivener to start writing your novel, this is great. This makes it so much easier. Just has everything neatly organized for you. Now, if we go to the Plottr dashboard, you can see I've got my projects laid out here. We can create files from templates, all that good stuff. But what I want to make sure you see is that Plottr is backing up your work on a regular basis. So while I was doing this live stream, it was backing up my work. So you get automatic backups. You don't really have to worry too much about losing your work. And if you do, hopefully you won't lose that much. So hats off to the Plottr team for backing up your work. That's just, to me, it's absolutely critical. And for those who are into it, Plottr does have a dark mode. So I can change it to a dark mode. I know people love that. I love dark modes too. But one thing I want to make sure people see with Plottr as well is that they have a really good, robust help section. Okay, so they have a lot of tutorials online that will help you. So they have a lot of YouTube videos that will walk through some of their features. They do regular interviews with authors that have different methods, and they're really good about putting in new templates for different styles. So this is great. I love that personally. And there's also a pretty good facts section. So if you go back in, you can go to the facts and read those. That'll be helpful for you as well. And they have places where you can see their documentation. There's a Facebook group, and they even have a roadmap where people can go in and request features. So now let's talk about what it costs. So Plottr has two ways that you can pay for it. You can pay for it on an annual subscription, or you can pay for it for lifetime. Now, these prices are as of February 2023. As you guys know, they're always subject to change depending on when you're going to be watching this. But there are two ways to pay for Plottr. The first is by an annual subscription. The second is for a lifetime, one-time fee. Pay it and you're done, okay? I know you guys aren't here for subscriptions, but these are the subscription fees if you do want to pay per year, and it's based on the number of devices that you want to use this for. The real fee we want to talk about are the lifetime licenses. So you pay once and you're done, okay? So you're looking at about $99 for one device, and that's a one-time fee all in, and $149 for 3 devices. And if you want the best package, you can pay $299. Now, these are not insignificant sums. They are a bit of change, but you know, it's lifetime fee. You get access to it forever. And I know you guys are big fans of that on this channel, and so am I. I've only scratched the surface of what Plottr can do, and I encourage all of you to check it out on a free trial if you're interested. And I do have an affiliate link if you're interested in checking it out. You can check that out at authorlevelup.com/Plottr, and that is Plottr without an E if you're interested in checking it out. But I'll also drop links to the app in the video description, and you got nothing to lose by giving it a free shot with a free trial, and you just might find that this would be really helpful for you. I would love to know what you think about Plottr. Is this something that you would use? Do you find it useful? I think if you need some additional help getting structured and keeping everything organized, I think the presentation, the user interface, and the pricing are no-brainers, and this could really be a useful tool in a lot of your guys' toolbox. But let me know what you think in the comments. And again, thanks to the Plottr team for allowing me access to the app. And with that, I will talk to you in the next video.